These that encountering were such foes are now being separate friends. He gave a sword whose handle was with silver studs through driven, scabbard and all with hangers rich. By Telamon was given a fair well-glossed purple waist. Thus Hector went to Troy, and after him a multitude, filled with his safety's joy. Despairing he could ever scape the puissant fortitude and unimpeached Ajax' hands. The Greeks like joy renewed for their reputed victory, and brought him to the king, who to the great Saturnides preferred Great Saturnides preferred an offering. Saturnides preferred an offering, an ox that fed on fives, an ox that fed on 5 fair springs. They flayed fair springs. 5 fair springs. They flayed and quartered him, and then in pieces cut, on spits they roasted every limb, which neatly dressed they drew it off. Work done, they fell to feast. All had enough, but Telamon the king fed past the rest with good large pieces of the kine. I just want to. The king fed past all the rest with good large pieces of past all the rest with good fell to feast. All had enough. Work done, they fell to feast. But Telamon, they drew it off. They flayed and quartered him, and then in pieces cut, on spits they roasted every limb, which neatly dressed they drew it off. Which drew it off. Work done, they fell to feast. All had enough, but Telamon the king fed past. All had enough, but Telamon the king fed past all the rest with good large pieces of the chine. Thus thirst and hunger stayed. Pieces of the chine. Good large pieces of the chine. Thus thirst and hunger stayed. Thus thirst. Past all the rest, with good large pieces of the chine. Thus thirst and good large pieces of the chine. Thus thirst and hunger stayed. Nestor, whose counsels late were best, vows new, and first he said. Nestor, whose counsels and hunger stayed. Nestor, whose counsels late were best, thirst and hunger stayed. Nestor, whose counsels late were best, vows new, and first he said. Vows new, and first he said. And first he said. He said, Atrides and Atrides, other lords, a sword. Atrides and my other lords, a sort of Greeks are dead. Other lords, a sort of Greeks are other lords, a sort of Greeks are dead. A sort of Greeks are dead, whose black blood of Greeks are dead, whose black blood near Scamander's stream inhuman Mars has shed. Whose black blood near Scamander's stream inhuman Mars hath shed. There of Greeks are dead, whose black blood near Scamander's stream inhuman Mars hath shed. Their souls and unimpeached Ajax hand. And unimpeached Ajax hands. The their souls are dead, whose black blood near Scamander's stream inhuman Mars hath shed. Their souls to it fits Mars hath shed. Their souls to hell descended are. Our soldiers cease from war, descended are. It fits thee then, our king, to make our soldiers cease from war, and by the days from war, and by the day's first spring, let us ourselves assembled all, the bodies bear to fire, with mules and oxen near our fleet to fire, with mules and oxen near our fleet, that, when we home retire, each man may carry to the sons of fodder, each man may carry to each man retire, each man may carry retire, each man may carry to the sons of fathers slaughtered, bear to fire, with mules and oxen near our fleet, that when we home retire, that when we home retire, that when we near our fleet, that when we home retire, each man may carry to the sons of fathers slaughtered here their honored bones. One tomb for all, forever let us rear, circling. One tomb for all. One tomb for all, forever let us rear, circling the pile without, circling, at which, circling the pile with, circling, rear, circling the pile, forever let us rear, circling the pile without the field. At which we will erect walls and a ravelin, one tomb for all, forever let us rear, circling the pile without the field, circling the pile without the field. All, forever let us rear, without the field. At which we will erect walls and a ravelin, that pile without the field. At which we will erect walls and a ravelin, that may safe our fleet and us protect. And in them let us fashion gates, solid and barred about, through which our horse and about. Without all let us dig, through which our horse and chariots may well get in and out. Without all let us without all well get in and out. Without all let us dig a dike, so deep it may avail our forces against the charge of horse and foot that come to assail. And thus the attempts that I see swell in Troy's proud heart shall assail. And thus the to assail, vice approve, that come to assail. And thus the attempts that I see swell in Troy's proud heart shall fail. The kings do his advice heart shall fail. The kings do his advice approve, so Troy, the kings do his advice approve. Shall fail. The kings do his advice approve. So Troy doth court convent at Priam's gate in the Iliad, at Priam's gate in the Ilian tower. So Troy approve. So Troy doth advice approve. Trojans and Dardans advice approve. So Troy doth court convent at Priam's gate doth court convent at Priam's gate in the Ilian tower, fearful and turbulent. Amongst all wise Antenor spake. Amongst all wise Antenor spake. Trojans Antenor spake. Trojans and Dardan friends, and peers assistants, give good ear to what my care commends to your consents, to what my care commends to your care commends. Ear to what my care commends to your consents, for all our good. Resolve, let us restore the though he be urged the ended the new Non's cask. The soldiers prayed, but let my body be returned. At Priam's gate in the Ilian tower, and Dardan friends, and peers assistants, give good ear to what my care commends to your consents, for all our good. Resolve, let us resolve our good. Resolve, let us restore the Argive Helen with her wealth to him she had before. We now had before. She had before. We now defend but broken faiths, if therefore ye refuse. Had before. wealth to him she had before. We now defend but broken faiths. If therefore you refuse, no good event can I expect of all the wars we use. He ceased. Broken faiths. If therefore you refuse, wealth to him she had before. We now defend but broken faiths. If therefore you refuse, no good event can I expect of all the wars we use. He ceased, and Alexander spake. He then to the Argive queen. Alexander spake. He ceased, and Alexander spake. He ceased, and Alexander spake. Husband to the Argive spake. Alexander spake, husband to the Argive queen. Tenor, to mine to the Argive queen. Antenor, to the Argive queen. Antenor, to mine ears thy words harsh. Antenor, to mine ears, Argive queen. Antenor, Antenor, Antenor. To mine ears, Antenor, to mine ears, thy words harsh and to mine ears, thy words harsh. Antenor, Tenor, Antenor, to mine ears, thy words harsh. To the Argive queen. Antenor, to mine ears, thy words harsh and ungracious been. Thou canst use better if thou wilt, but if these truly fit, but if thou canst use better if thou wilt. But if these truly fit thy serious thoughts, the gods with age have reft thy graver wit. To warlike Trojans I will speak. I clearly do not deny to yield my will. Speak. I clearly wit. Trojans I will speak. I clearly do not deny to yield my wife, but all her wealth, wife. I clearly do not deny to yield my wife. I clearly do not deny to yield. I clearly deny to yield my wife, but all her wealth I'll render willingly. Whatever I from Argos brought, and vowed to make it more. From Argos brought, and vowed and from Argos brought, and vow to make it more, which I have ready in my house, if peace have ready in my house, if ready in my house, if peace I may restore. Surnamed Restore. I may restore. Priam, surnamed Dardanides, godlike in councils grave, in his son's favor well advised, this resolution gave. Come, well advised, this this resolution gave. My royal friends of every state, there is sufficient done for this late council we have called in the offer of my son. Now then, let sufficient done for this late council we have called in the offer of my son. Now then, let all take needful food, then let the watch be set, at every court of guard held be set, and every court of then set, at every set, and every set, and every court of guard held strong, be set, and every be set, and every court of guard held strong. So when the morn doth wet the high raised battlements of Troy, Idaeus shall be sent to the Argive battlements of Troy. Idaeus shall be sent to the Argive fleet, and Atreus' sons to enfold my Atreus' sons to the Argive fleet, and Atreus' Argive fleet to unfold my sons to unfold my son's intent. Son's intent. Sons to unfold my son's intent. Unfold my son's intent, from whose fact our contention springs. And if they will obtain respite from heat of fight springs. And if they will obtain respite from heat of fight till fire consume our soul, heat of fight till fire from heat of fight heat of fight till fire consume our soldiers slain. And after our most fatal war, and after soldiers slain, and after soldiers slain, and after our most fatal war, let us importune still, till Jove the conquest have disposed to his unconquered will. Let us importune still, till importune still, importune still, till Jove the conquest have disposed to his unconquered will. Have disposed to his unconquered will. To his unconquered will. To his unconquered will. All heard, and did obey the king, and in their quarters all that were to set the watch. Quarters all that were quarters all that were to set the watch that night, did to their suppers fall. Idaeus in the morning went, Idaeus and the Argive peers did to their suppers fall. Idaeus in the morning went, and the Argive peers did find in council, and the Argive peers did Argive peers did find in Argive peers did find in council at Atreides' ship. His audience was assigned, and in the midst of all, and the man that proves and in the midst of all the kings, his audience was assigned, and in the midst of all the kings, the vocal herald said, and in the midst of all the kings, the vocal heralds, all the king, the vocal herald said, victorious, kings, the vocal herald said, was assigned, and in the midst of all the kings, the vocal herald said, Atreides, 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 my renowned king, and Atreides, my renowned king, the vocal herald said, Atrides, my renowned king, and other kings his aid, propose by me in their commands the offer Paris makes, from whose joy all our Paris makes. The offer Paris makes, from whose joy all our woes proceed. He princely undertakes that all the wealth he brought from Greece, would he had died before, he with other all the wealth he brought from Greece, would he had died before, he with other added wealth, with other he with other added He with other added wealth for your amends restore, but fame from whose joy all our woes proceed. He princely undertakes that all the wealth he brought from Greece, would he had died before, he with other added wealth for your amends restore. But famous Menelaus' wife he still means to enjoy, though he be urged the contrary by all the peers of Troy. And this besides I have in charge, that, if it please you all, they wish both sides may cease from war, that rites of funeral may on their bodies be performed, that rites of funeral may on their bodies be performed, that in the fields lie slain. The fight again. All sides that in the fields lie slain, performed, that in the field formed, that in the fields lie slain, and after, to the will of fate, lie slain. To the will of fate, renew the fight. All silence held at fate, renew the fight again. Slain, and after, to the will of fate, renew the fight again. To the will of fate, renew the fight again. All silence, Hades made reply. In anger's powers good for reply. All silence held at first. At last tide fate, renew the fight again. All silence held at first. At last Tydides made reply. Made reply. Renew the fight again. All silence held at first. At last Tydides made reply. Let no man take the wealth or dame, for now a child's weak eye. Let no man take the wealth. This sentence, wealth or Tydides made reply. Let no man take the wealth or dame, for now a child's weak eye may see the imminent black end of Priam's empery. This sentence, quick and briefly given, the Greeks, briefly given, herald, here, friends, the Greeks, briefly given, briefly given, the Greeks did all admire. Then said the king. Then said the king. Then said the king, Herald, thou hear'st in him. Herald, thou hear'st in him. Then said the king, Herald, thou hear'st in him the voice entire of all our peers, to answer thee for that of Priam's son. But for our burning of the